Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this session. So today we will be covering everything you need to know about ECT, the Engineering College of Technology. And this session is presented by Professor Michael Rod, Dr. Dennis Marchand, myself, my name is Indumati V. We've also got Sean Hay-Kellett and Steve Guy, and last but not least, Daniel Delfacco. Now, before I continue any further, can I check if everyone can hear me clearly? Yeah. In terms of agenda, this is the way the session will be running. So we will go through why choose an engineering qualification, why ECT. We will also go through a little bit of a background about ECT programs. What does studying online at ECT look like? The remote and virtual laboratories. Additional information about student support. Why choose ECT and how to apply for the programs. And we'll wrap up with some Q&A, any questions and answers. Just as a housekeeping, the copy of the slides and the recording of the session will be available to all participants who have registered. So, don't feel panicked and start taking notes. You will have all the information you need at the end of the session. With that, I would like to invite Professor Michael Rod.
Good morning and welcome to this session. Just a little bit about myself. I have the great pleasure to chair the governing board which is looking after the establishment of ECT. My own background is slightly unusual, but maybe fits in well with the whole model of what this remote learning is all about. I actually hail from Zimbabwe, where I grew up. I studied electrical engineering then in Cape Town University, worked in South African industry for a while, and then went back to Cape Town University to set up a laboratory, as it happens, really in sort of AI, or what became AI. We didn't call it AI at that time. Eventually, I had an offer to come and work in Swansea University, where I came down and we set up research programs again in the AI field across Europe, and that was very interesting. I then took early retirement to go and work for my professional body, and then a couple of years ago, this guy called Stephen phoned me and said he had set up an internet-based university in Australia, and they were interested in setting up a UK version of that, and would I be interested? And I'd always felt very strongly that the internet really will change the whole face of education, particularly higher education, and particularly those who want to improve their qualifications. Why do engineering? Well, I think it's all very simple, that there's a huge global demand for engineers right across the world. And I've been perfectly brutal about it. There's a great demand for those with a British degree, which are recognized widely as being of high quality and well maintained and kept up to date. I think the other thing that I would like to say is that if you're really interested in the way the world's moving, the role of the engineer is more and more important. I was looking at an incredible project down at Bath University a few weeks ago, and they were using drones to fly food into areas of Africa where you couldn't get to, maybe because there's a war on the go or they're too remote. And I just thought, this is exactly what engineers can do. So the role of the engineer really is very widespread. And if you're looking for a career, there are so many opportunities. Dennis, I wonder if you'd like to carry on and tell us a little bit more about your feelings, because you've had a lot to do with the establishment of the courses.
Yes, absolutely. So good morning, welcome everybody, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. I'm talking to you, I'm based in West London in the UK, and unlike Mike, I was actually born in England, so I'm a English through and through. And a bit about my background, first and foremost. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, so my first degree, the bachelor degree, is in mechanical engineering. My master's degree actually is in manufacturing and robotics, and my PhD is in mechanical engineering. And I'm, like Mike, have worked in industry for half my career, and a bit more than half the career, I suppose. So it can't be half, but let's say 60-40 in university. So I've worked as a professor in a London university and took I decided to call it a day and do something different in late 2021 during the COVID pandemic. And actually, currently, I work with two other universities in the UK, one in complex flows. That's one of my research areas, and the other one is actually working with advanced cities, future cities and transportation. I worked in industry in developing automotive engines, actually. So my background actually in industry was with Fiat and Suzuki developing engines. And my PhD actually is in environmental aspects of engine control and other aspects of that. So that's the background there. So I joined this project about 4 years ago, and have been working in my role as chair of the academic board. And the academic board actually is the sort of overall academic authority for for ECT, but would be equivalent of a similar thing in a UK university. And for some years, actually for 11 years in my previous role, I was head of academic quality as well for all the STEM subjects in a very large West London university with, well, in my faculty, we had more than 10,000 students. So I've been working with our Australian colleagues to develop their programs into a framework that would fit within the UK education system and to meet all the benchmark statements for registration and degree awarding powers in the UK, which sounds easier than it actually is. It's taken us more than 4 years to get to where we are today. But I'm excited to say that we're just about to embark on starting the programs in September. And that's a huge achievement for all the staff. And we're really looking forward to welcoming the students, which we've had a lot of interest actually. So I think that's really, really encouraging. Like Mike and other colleagues in ECT and EIT, the Australian sister company, I firmly believe, having come from a traditional engineering and academic background, so I'm sort of part of the product of going through university. I studied in a number of universities actually, and in a traditional form. And I think now what we've proved over COVID, and certainly the trajectory before that, was in the way that we're moving to an online digital environment. And I think that's completely right, because it's an enabler for people. It enables people from all over the world to actually get a British degree, which is highly regarded everywhere in the world. Well, I would say almost everywhere anyway. And it's a bit more inclusive way for people to learn. I mean, it's not without its challenges, I agree, but done properly, it's really good. So I'm really enthusiastic about the next step in education and in the way that education is delivered. I'm convinced this is the way forward. And the model that ECT has, I think, is really good. And in fact, some UK universities I know are looking at that model to think, well, perhaps this is something that they might replicate, but we'll see. So in terms of the things that Mike's already said to you, I would agree with him entirely. In fact, we have got a slide here. Hopefully everybody can see that. Is that okay? don't know if that's, you can see that all right, but
Yep.
Mike's already talked about high global demand and so on, and potential for long stability, for long-term career stability. But there's lots of things. I mean, these are just some things. I would argue that the UK is probably the second most recognised degree provider in the world. America may have the first position. We've certainly got some of the best universities in the world here and some of the highest standards. And ECT has been modelled and meets all of the UK requirements for their degrees. So I think what I would say is that a UK degree would open doors to you anywhere in the world. It's recognised, as I said, pretty much everywhere. That will also allow you to apply for professional engineering status. There's other caveats because the degree is just the educational aspect of that. But that then would allow you in certain jurisdictions to apply for professional engineering status, because in some countries like America and others in Europe where you need to be a licensed engineer. So an English degree or a UK degree will certainly open those doors for you. So I think those are things there. You probably wouldn't be attending this little chat today if you didn't already understand what the benefits of having a UK degree are over other nations. Of course, everything's taught in English. And I'm sure Indu will tell you all about that, but that's, you know, another important aspect. And of course, we are, at the moment, we're not able to accredit the degrees for professional recognition, but that will be something we're now be moving on to. We can't do that under UK regulations until such times as students are on the programs and we've got a first output, but we will be looking at that, and the intention is to get backdating, so all students who come on to the degrees from September onwards should be eligible for an accredited degree. Certainly that's the intention. We're in dialogue with the professional bodies here. In fact, I do work for the Engineering Council anyway, who oversee all of that. So that's a little bit about what I wanted to say. And you know, I really do hope that that you will consider ECT, because I think you'll be joining a really high quality, innovative course. I've overseen the curriculum along with other colleagues, incidentally, on the academic board from other UK universities. So there's been a huge amount of work in the course design, and there's a little bit of work going on even as we speak in the final tuning. So I think you'll have a really good high quality experience. So that's all I wanted to say for this point anyway in time. Maybe if you've got any questions later, I can perhaps see if I can answer them. So thank you for listening. Thank you. Over to you, Indu.
Thank you, Dennis, and thank you, Mike. Right. Not sure if you can see my slide. All right, so my name is Indu Mativi, and I'm one of the academic board members at ECT. I'm also the Deputy Dean at EIT, the Australian sister college as well. So what I wanted to go through is some of the key aspects of the program and why you might want to consider joining ECT. And I know Mike and Dennis have already set a very nice stage of what we do here at ECT. But I'll start. We focus only on engineering and technology. So our pure focus, you know, day in and day out is on engineering and technology, which means that, you know, we're not diverting our efforts into other disciplines. And the curriculum is designed with a focus on industry, what the industry needs, and is led by experts. And I know from what Dennis said as well, we've been working in the last 4 years making sure that our curriculum is aligned and meeting all the requirements of UK standards. And still we are going through fine tuning, and we will continue refining our programs to make sure it meets the professional accreditations as well. It is a globally recognized qualification. It is currently under probationary degree awarding powers in the UK. Slightly to go into, Sean will go more into detail of the practical learning side of things, but similar to what we are doing now, we do have an online learning platform that we'll be engaging. So it won't be Microsoft Teams, but we call it Big Blue Button, as well as Modal Learning Management System. Those will facilitate where your learning materials are hosted and you have your live interactive webinars with your lecturers. Now, your lecturers are industry professionals. Now, you can see both from Mike and Dennis's background and myself as well, we have both industry experience and academic experience. So we're not purely academics. And similarly, the academic staff we engage with have industry experience as well. So they will be able to bring you industry knowledge into the curriculum with your case studies, with the examples that they provide you. And the delivery would be both synchronous, interactive, and flexible. So you will have components where the recordings will be available if you miss a tutorial session, where you can go through it again and again. You have access to physical laboratories where you can come to our campus to do hands-on experience if you like. You also have access to remote and virtual laboratories. So your day-to-day experiments that you need to conduct or simulations, modeling you need to conduct, you have access to that via our virtual laboratories 24/7. The beauty of it is you can conduct your experiments or go through your laboratories and your simulations as many times as you want. You don't have to worry about breaking anything. And even if you didn't break anything online, our technology team will make sure that it's up and running in no time. We do have lots of redundant labs as well. So again, multiple students can be on the labs and accessing the labs anytime they want. One of the, I think the best aspect of it is you get personalized student support. So you're not 1 in 100 in a big university. You are going to be personally supported in small class sizes. And that's one of the things we pride ourselves with. We want to make sure student is at the center of everything we do. So you'll get the personal support, both from your lecturers, your tutors, as well as your learning support officers. And the beauty of online learning is you also get to engage with a global student and lecturer community. So you can interact with students from, students could be joining from UK, students could be joining from Africa or Australia, and you will be able to share your expertise with different students, see what is happening in their industry and what is happening in their part of the world, and you get a global education. Our main aim is to make sure that we offer a world-class, affordable education, which is in high quality in a very innovative way. And that's what we are doing here. In terms of the programs we offer, we are currently offering 2 bachelor degrees, Bachelor of Engineering Honors in Industrial Automation and a Bachelor of Engineering Honors in Electrical Engineering. These are 3 years full-time and equivalent part-time, depending on how many units you take or modules you take. And similarly, for master's degree, we offer 2 programs, a Master of Science in Power System Analysis and Renewable Integration, and a Master of Science in Industrial Automation and Instrumentation Control. These can be completed 12 months full-time or part-time equivalent as well. Now, the way the programs are created, so the industrial automation, again, generally all programs are designed to meet your global requirements for skilled engineers in that particular field. Now, how we know these are global demand, when we did our market analysis, as well as our experience that comes from delivering programs in Australia for many years, we have refined and tuned these. And as on top of that, we have a course and industry advisory committee who provide input into the curriculum to make sure the content in there is tuned for what is needed in the industry as you graduate. With the industrial automation, you will get access to tools, industry standard tools, such as things like CodeSys, MATLAB, Cytek SCADA. So again, we do have students, especially who are working in the industry, have access to industry grade softwares. And you are welcome to use it through our remote labs any time of the day. It doesn't have to be just for your schoolwork. You can be it for your personal exploration or for any other projects that you're building as well. Completing the Bachelor of Engineering in Industrial Automation will help you build your expertise in instrumentation, understanding sensors and actuators, your programmable logical controllers, your PLCs, SCADA systems, as well as industrial networking. When you're going into, if you're going into a Bachelor of Engineering honors in electrical engineering, similarly, you learn to work with industry relevant tools that are required for power networks, circuit analysis, as well as renewable energy integration. And again, you can go through your module outlines to look at what software are being used, and it will give you an indication of what software is required for that particular module. You will gain expertise in electrical machines, smart grids, renewable energy, and again, IoT-enabled technologies here. Moving into the master's program, once again, you will develop advanced skills. Obviously, it's a master's program, so you'll go from your bachelor degree to an advanced skill here. And you would use in the power system analysis and renewable energy integration program things like ETAP software, your Simulink, again, MATLABs will be used as well. And there will be case studies and project-based learning as well. So you will be involved in real projects. Your thesis, a capstone project, again, will give you an opportunity to work on something significant. And graduates will be then able to get expertise in power system analysis, stability and fault modeling, energy storage, and renewable integration. Last but not least, your Master of Science in Industrial Automation. You will get tools, access to tools via remote labs with PLCs, your SCADA, DCS systems, sensors and actuators, as well as any other tools that you require to complete the course successfully. And you will gain expertise in designing, optimizing, and troubleshooting automation systems and understanding advanced process control, safety instrumentation, again, through project-based learning and all culminating in a capstone project as well. But over here, I think I will now pass on to Sean, if Sean is already here.
Yes.
Over to you, Sean.
Thank you very much, Indu. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. So I just wanted to just move on a bit and talk about studying online at ECT and our online methodology as well. So as Indu has touched upon as well, we have dedicated learning support officers. Your LSOs will work with you on a daily basis and be there for full support and for anything you need throughout your studies. That can be anything from initial questions when you first join and set up on your systems and Moodle, and also throughout your course if you're having any issues with any of your modules, your studies, or you know, have any further issues or need support. So as we said, we have very interactive online learning through our webinars and online tutorial sessions. These are done by all of our highly qualified staff and like Indu touched upon as well, people that have also worked in industry but also understand the education sector really well. So as well as those sessions that you will have, we'll also have our remote labs and our virtual labs, which again we'll go on to talk about a little bit more, and our live interactive sessions as well, and also the online program preparation options as well. So we will look after all of those for you in all of those areas, and like I said, we will have an LSO on hand to help and support in all of those areas. We also have dedicated emails set up for if it's any kind of IT issues, or if you're having any Moodle issues, or HE support email address. So we, you know, or even finance or other areas of your studying outside of that. So we have a you know, a full dedicated team in all of those areas that are there to help and support you all the way. Okay. And then just moving on to the remote and virtual labs. So Indu, as I said, has already touched upon this a little bit. Well, we have our kind of cloud-based remote and virtual lab platform, ElectroMeet, which is a superb platform for all of our students to use in the engineering area. So our lab hosting platform, it connects students to remote and virtual labs for their applied learning to enable all of your experimentation, completion of your practical assessments, and this gives all of the students a really good opportunity to access real equipment and engineering software, that is used daily within the industry, and it's to support your online learning and to give you the practical elements that you need for your online learning. It's an absolute superb tool to go alongside your other sessions that you're going to be studying as well. So this will cover a number of areas of your practical sessions. So a little bit more onto our remote and virtual labs. So our remote labs, which again are based here in Stevenage. So you can use the remote labs to test and control all physical equipment and sensors, and actually view all of these real results once you have completed these as well. They're viewable over webcams in real time. And the labs include data, around communication protocols, and all of the experimentation that you will have for the controlled and observation of circuits, systems, machinery, and also the robotic automation. So the remote labs that are here, they can be accessed, throughout your studies. The virtual labs, again, just going on a little bit more about the electromeet. So again, it's simulation software for a multitude of engineering applications, and that includes design, crafting, modeling, analysis, science education, programming, power network, and project management. So it covers all of a wide range of field of the operations, and gives you a first-hand experience of using those virtual labs throughout your studies. So that gives you a bit of insight into all of our our remote and virtual labs and how they are used throughout our programs. They add a real quality to all of our programs, and really assist in giving you that practical element that you require throughout your studies. Okay, I'm now just going to pass you on to, I've talked a lot about our LSOs and what they do, so I'm going to pass you on to one of our LSOs now, Dan, and he's just going to give you a little bit more information into that area. Thank you, Dan.
Yes, Sean, thank you. Hello, everyone. So, my name's Daniel, one of the learning support officers here at ECT. I will be a point of contact for our students, and hopefully we've got some students here or new students coming along that have joined the session today. I will be your point of contact day to day. So if you have any questions or queries relating to anything other than the content of the course, unfortunately I don't come from an engineering background, so I can't answer the technical questions for you, but I can certainly point you in the direction of the lecturer, or have a conversation with them to help facilitate an answer for you. So if you've got any non-academic questions, you need support, you need an extension request, you're having issues accessing a system, I would be the person to come to if I'm your LSO. We operate as Sean mentioned earlier, a HE support inbox. So that's a central place for lots of requests, etc., to come into, which can be picked up by myself or any other LSOs. Throughout your study, for each module that you have, you will be assigned a learning support officer that will look after you and your fellow classmates throughout the duration of that module, and we will be in contact with you from the very beginning to welcome you to your module, and all the way through to the end to let you know your results. there are we are available. Standard hours here in the UK would be 8 till 4:30, but by all means, if you wish to contact us at any other point throughout the day, morning or evening, we will look to get back to you as soon as possible. We look forward to helping you and supporting you along your journey to either your bachelor's or master's degree in engineering. That's short and sweet from me, but I can pass on.
Hell if I switch my microphone on. Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve. I'm part of the admissions team at ECT. Just to give you a little bit of background about me, I'm not an engineer. My specialism is university admissions, which I've done for over 20 years at various different UK universities. I joined ECT earlier this year. So I'm going to tell you about how to apply. All of our applications have to be submitted via the ECT website. Applying is free of charge. Unlike many other institutions, both in the UK and around the world, we don't charge you to apply to us. And thanks to our online application system, applying can be done quickly and easily. And if nothing is missing from your application, then we pride ourselves on turning it around quickly and giving you a decision very, very promptly. To be able to process the application, the admissions team, we need you to provide your educational qualifications. That includes any grade transcripts, as well as the final certificates, your current CV, so we can see what your background is and make sure that you are suited to the course you're applying for. And we also, very important, need to see an official government issued form of photographic ID. So that typically would be your passport, your driving license, or a national ID card, which many countries do issue to their citizens. In terms of entry requirements, we do have a very, very long list of entry requirements we recognise from many, many countries around the world. I know because I've helped put it together. It took many, many hours. It's not entirely comprehensive because we can't cover every country in the world. But if you don't see your qualification or country listed on the dedicated page on the ECT website, then by all means feel free to contact us, and one of the team, probably me, will get back to you with a detailed advice and guidance on whether we can look at accepting your particular qualification. And if you have any questions at all about applying or entry requirements, then please feel welcome to directly contact us. The best email to get us on is admissions@ect.ac.uk. That was nice, short and sweet, much like our application process. So we can move on to the next slide.
All right, thanks everyone for that information. Now we are on to any questions and answers from any of our participants. So if there are any questions, please do put it in the chat box, and then we'll get one of our panel to answer those questions for you. Steve has added the admissions email in the chat box. So if you want to contact him, please use that email address. No questions? Everybody's very quiet? Sean, did you want to add the HE support or any other general email address if people have any questions?
Yeah, definitely. I can add that in now, Indy, and people can contact us on that as well. But it would be nice to, if anyone does have any questions now, it'd be nice to see them in the chat box, as Indu said, and we can answer them now. And that can be anything throughout your student journey, including your studies, as well as any questions that you might have from outside of your studies as well, with us. Thank you, Dan, for including that.
No, looks like we've covered it all very clearly. There's no questions.
Oh, we have one question.
Yes, we do have a credit and recognition of prior studies policy. So we will assess information on a case-by-case basis. A student can apply for any RPLs, which is a recognition of prior learning. And yeah, it will go through admissions and then it will come to the relevant academic team for assessment. Any other questions?
Looks like that might be all of the questions. Like we said, please, if you think of any questions after this session, please do reach out. The two email addresses there are probably the two main ones if you have any questions around admissions or anything to do with our programs and our study. Thank you to all of you who have joined today. I hope you've enjoyed the session, and thank you to all of the panel that are here and taking their time on the session today. We really appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks, Sean. Thanks to Mike and Dennis as well for joining us, and to Steve and Dan. You will get the recording of the session and the slides via our team. Give it roughly a week and you will be receiving them shortly. Thank you, everyone, and have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.